Okay, so this is the mortising machine. It sits in between the pillar drill and the honing plate that we use for sharpening chisels and stuff like that. Right, it's very useful indeed. We use it quite a lot in woodwork jobs, constructions, joinery, things like that. So in a similar way, it's got a handle that raises and lowers something. It's a bit similar to the pillar drill. Powerful electric motor on the top half. What will be different then is the device that does the kind of drilling, I suppose you'd call it, right? So it does mortising, so it's got to cut a square slot out. So drilling a square hole, obviously impossible, but what the mortising tool does is it has a square-shaped chisel with sharp edges to it, and inside that chisel, so it's a hollow chisel, is a drill bit. So the drill bit removes material through the spiral that it's got on it that flutes, and it ends up creating a square-shaped hole. Right, so other things we need to know about it. Well, how you clamp your work, that's pretty straightforward on this machine here. What you've got is a slot where your work is going to fit, and that slot, I shouldn't do this, but I've got goggles on. That slot has got a series of holes in it, and the clamping device has got a pin in it. Now that pin is going to match and fit into one of those holes. So you slide it forward, you can feel it dropping into the hole as it goes forward. So it can do wide things quite easily, or it can do quite narrow things quite easily. Right, so when you're clamping your job into the machine, it goes against the back surface here. You slide until you get into one of those pins, and once you're in a pin, you can tighten the handle by hand. Right, so there you are, there's my wood clamped in nicely. Next thing then, right, so you've got two extra dials I haven't really showed you, right? This one here moves your timber right and left, and this one here moves your timber forward and back, right? So first thing I need to do, having marked out my tenon, right, is set the start position on the left-hand side. I'm going to bring that lever down so that my chisel comes down towards the material, and I'm going to use a combination of the handles to set it in the right place. Okay, so that's the correct location for it. Right, you can see I've got my glasses on, my work glasses. And look, I'm not wearing an apron at the moment. That's PPE wise. We don't want to contaminate too much stuff, so because we're not in the workshops, the aprons have gone away for a minute. Right, you turn the power on with the green button. There's an emergency stop at the bottom that you can turn it off with. Best you use the red button on the off throw. Okay, and then all you're going to do is gradually, it needs a little bit of force. You're going to try and go through in one hit. Look, just keep going up and down gradually. Look, and what's happening is the drill bit inside the mortising machine is removing the material, and it is drilling a square-shaped hole. Now, once you've done one, you can move across and go again, and then move across and go again, and move across, and carry on doing that until you create your mortise. So I won't do it all for you now, but I'll do enough to show you what you're going to end up with. Right, you've done the back row, now I need to come forward a bit. Okay, so once it's finished, you will have, well, the makings of a very neat mortise slot that's been cut using the machine. Right, once you've finished using the machine, please make sure you clean it down, ready for the next person to use it. If there's any faults on the machine, it's your duty to tell somebody about it, your teacher, make sure technician, whoever, make sure that people are aware that there's a problem with the machine, and leave it in the condition ready for somebody else to use it, okay? So there, that's the mortising machine, very useful indeed, okay? Look after it, use it safely.